All right, I think we should go ahead and get started. Um, this is the virtual awards ceremony for the Dance Studies Association, and visible are our awardees. We are going to try and have a fun, relaxed time in the nowhere of Zoom. I think we'll just go ahead and launch right in. I'd like to start, I'm Seth Williams, the new VP for awards, and I'd like to start just by thanking a few people. First, the committees that served and went through the, I'm sure, excruciating, but also very rewarding process of trying to kind of pick from all the incredible dance scholarship that's been coming out. I'd like to thank the Selma Jeanne Cohen committee members, Ellen Gerdes, Sylvie Vitaglione, and David Tenorio, the Lippincott committee, Lindsay Drury and Jeanette Swalnick, Emily Bach, the Bueno committee, Karim Kubtandani, Adrienne Cohen, and Sansan Kwan, the Brockett committee, Lucia Ruprecht, Andrea Harris, Manuel Cuellar, D.L. Arasati, the Dance in Public Sphere committee, Alison D'Amato, Tara Willis, Marcela Fuentes, Gabriela Mendoza Garcia, and above all, the Standing Committee on Awards, whose stewardship last year oversaw all of those. That was Colleen Dunnigan, Arabella Stanger, Anna Paula Hoffling, Mengang Wu, and Tia Monique Guzar. And then obviously we, all of us owe massive thanks to Lizzie Leopold, always and ever, for all that she does for this organization, including helping to corral all of us here today. And then I'd like to thank Angie Algren, the outgoing VP for awards, who oversaw the process that led to this beautiful slate of awardees that we're celebrating today. And then one more quick note for anybody not in the know, having sat through various Zoom things where people were feted to silent clapping, we thought it might be a little bit more fun this year to celebrate in music and dance. So each awardee has selected a song of some kind, something dear to them or something just fun and frivolous. And we'll be playing a little snippet from each of those after reading a bit to honor each awardee. And I invite absolutely everybody watching to dance for a moment in some form instead of applause, or you can clap while dancing. You can stay seated, you can stand, you can dance just with your hands if you like, but please join us in just a little bit of movement. Let's go ahead and get going. We're going to start with the Selma Jean Cohen Award, which recognizes excellence in scholarship by graduate students. There are two awardees this year. The first is in the Beljaars for Dancing Across Borders, the Impact of Gendered Migration and Post-Colonial Connections on the Dutch Salsa Scene. Among the things mentioned in the citation for this award are that, quote, Beljaars traces this musical genre's origin in the Netherlands by highlighting the, quote, transoceanic connections that shaped its emergence as a popular dance form, end quote. Honing in on mostly Antillean men's immigration experiences, Beljaars finds in salsa a cultural practice that allows them to negotiate a global circuit of Latin music consumption, gaining agency as Caribbean immigrants in a post-colonial order. Through a mix of oral interviews and archival materials, Beljaars further complicates salsa as a transnational platform built by multiple waves of immigration from the Caribbean into Europe. Salsa, Beljaars tacitly argues, is more than just an orchestration of steps, but a way of feeling movement and performance, a sort of embodied belonging that indeed moves across borders. So to celebrate in the Beljaars, here is a song snippet. Boop, boop, boop. And I'd like to turn it over to Ina, if Ina has joined us. Yes.
Yep. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Seth. Yeah, so I'm so honored and humbled to accept this award. This recognition is a reflection of the support and guidance and inspiration that I've received throughout my academic journey at the University of British Columbia. And I would also like to acknowledge the research participants who generously offered their time, experiences, and insights. I'm grateful for their trust and cooperation, and without their contributions, this paper would not have been possible. Lastly, I want to express my gratitude to my friends and my family whose support, patience, and encouragement have sustained me throughout the challenges of grad school. And I'm excited to continue my academic journey, fueled by the encouragement and inspiration I found here within the DSA community. So thank you very much.
Hurrah! The second awardee is Emily Kaniuka for You're Not One of Us, Hardcore Punk's Digital Immobilities. The citation reads, Kaniuka charts the evolution of hardcore punk from its origins in the 1980s to contemporary American scenes with their regional specificities and variances. It examines what happens when punk moves from the margins to the mainstream, in this case, from floors and stages to the screens of TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Kaniuka argues that the various recording and sharing technologies in today's punk scene have established digital connections, but have also, quote, galvanized a collateral shift in both moshing techniques and community identity, end quote. As live shows and audiences are filmed, framed, edited, and reshaped for a broader audience, the, quote, values of hardcore moshing, namely intensity, strength, and bodily agency, are compromised and regional differences erased. You're Not One of Us provides a valuable contribution by studying the social impact digital technologies are having on a subculture more often discussed in relation to its music. Once again, please dance in celebration of Emily Kaniuka. All right, and please say a few words if you would.
Thank you so much, Seth, and the Selma Jean Cohen Award Committee and DSA. I am incredibly honored to have my work recognized in this way. I actually was lucky to participate in one of the first cohorts of hubs at DSA 2021. And some of the ideas that are represented in this paper did emerge from our work as a hub together. I owe a lot of thank yous. This paper does belong to a chapter of my dissertation. So first and foremost, huge thank you to my committee, which includes Harmony Bench, Marie Stevens, and Brian Skinner. And then biggest thank you to my incredibly supportive chair, Hannah Kostrin. And then I also want to recognize all of the members of the hardcore community, past and present, who I am able to think alongside. I might be situating this work in an academic context, but the theories truly do come from the scene, even when they don't put words to them. So thank you, everyone. So grateful to be able to do what I do and be part of this field. And I'm sorry for the barking. I'm crate training a puppy right now.
Mine are also here and being mischievous, so hooray for pets. Next, we'll move on to the De La Torre Bueno First Book Award, awarded annually to the best first book in dance studies published in the English language during the previous year. The awardee this year is Manuel Cuellar for Choreographing Mexico, Festive Performances and Dancing Histories of a Nation. The citation says, quote, rich with historical detail, Manuel Cuellar's Choreographing Mexico explores the spectacle of Mexican nationalism as it unfolds across more than a century on stages, at the World's Fair, in street parades, on screen, in the minds of international audiences. Choreographing Mexico offers a layered portrait of the understudied genre of folklóricos' role in Mexican nationalism. The book illuminates historical accounts of female, queer, and indigenous national subjects whose embodied practices wove the contingent collectivity that is the Mexican nation. And I've invited for the book awards to read just a brief moment of some lovely prose from each of them so that we can all collectively relish what they put together. So here's an excerpt from pages 7 and 8. Quote, I draw from extensive archival sources, including periodicals, historical photographs, and footage from the 1910s to the 1940s, as well as classic films from the golden age of Mexican cinema, particularly during the 1930s and 40s, to study both discursive and visual modes of representing a dancing Mexico. The language and images used to represent Mexico, I argue, are performatively undone by the actual embodiment of the people whom they aim to represent. Rather than resorting to the common approach of highlighting Mexicanness as the embodiment of a monumental but static mestizo masculinity, I construct a genealogy of key moments in which the public performance of bodies reveals a nuanced articulation of female, indigenous, Black, and at times even queer renditions of the nation. These moments show how meaning in motion is created, how it can be produced and sensed in the archive, and how it can be accounted for in our intellectual endeavors. The festive performances I explore ultimately draw attention to the multiple ways Mexican citizens experienced and embodied the nation before and during the post-revolutionary period, from the 1910s through the 1940s. And in celebration of Manuel, here is another snippet of music. All right, and Manuel, would you please say a few words?
Yes, thank you. Thank you to the Dance Studies Association for this recognition and to the committee for critically engaging with my work, recognizing the cultural and political work of Mexican dance. It's truly an honor. I couldn't have done this without the mentorship I received at Berkeley from my advisors who believed in a dance project in a literature department, and without the support here at GW, particularly from my department, Romance, German, and Slavic Studies. Grateful for the community I have here in DC. I'm blessed to have such generous friends, mentors, and writing peeps all over. I'm blessed to be also part of a folklorico family, Corazón. Thank you for keeping me dancing during the pandemic and after. Dedico esto a mis padres, mis eternos maestros, María, Adelaida, y Víctor. And I also dedicate this to my partner, José Luis Mares Rivera. Gracias, Chaparro, por ser y estar. Congratulations to the other finalists. What an honor. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. We'll move on now to the De la Torre Bueno Prize, awarded annually to a book published in English language that advances the field of dance studies. The awardee this year is Kemi Adeyemi for Feels Right, Black Queer Women and the Politics of Partying in Chicago. The citation for this award reads, Kemi Adeyemi Feels Right is an immaculately written and intimate account of nightlife in Chicago, centering the many ways that Black queer people encounter the neoliberal city. Adeyemi makes legible the embodied politics of several parties on Chicago's west and south sides, Slow-Mo, Party Noir, and Energy. Adeyemi's careful readings of these scenes offer the field of dance studies frameworks such as choreographies of support, slowness, and the Black queer ordinary. Frameworks grounded as much in urban and national politics as they are in the fleshy body to account for fun, care, and exhaustion. Feels Right is impressive for the deep embeddedness of Adeyemi's ethnographic work. She devotes incredible care and rigor with the dancers who constitute her research material. As a result, the incisive arguments she makes about the right to feel evolve directly from that attentiveness. Feeling right and having rights become inseparable in her astute analysis. And here's just a brief excerpt from that book, pages 22 and 23. Quote, Black queer women conduct political work of negotiating their rights to the city every time they get on the queer dance floor and wield their entire sensorium as they directly implicate their own bodies and the bodies of those around them. Their struggles are not only over the right to physically take place in the city, but to inhabit it on their own terms. It is a struggle over their physical and affective rights to the city. And in celebration of this work, please join me in a little bit of dancing. And Kemi, if you'd like to say a few words, please.
What a time for the beat to get cut. Thank you so much to Dance Studies Association and to the committee. I know how much work that is, how much labor that is to read all of these books. So I'm so grateful for the attention. Yeah, grateful to performance studies at Northwestern, where I got my degree. Grateful to my department, gender, women's sexuality studies at the University of Washington. Really grateful to like everybody who's been reading the book, and super grateful to the people who made the book possible. So all the Black queers on the dance floor, a lot of praise there. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Hooray. Moving on now to the Gertrude Lippincott Award, awarded annually to the best English language article published in dance studies. The awardees this year are Harmony Bench and Kate Elswit for Visceral Data for Dance Histories, Catherine Dunham's People, Places, and Pieces. The citation for this award reads, quote, Harmony Bench and Kate Elswit's groundbreaking work demonstrates how critical digital methods, data analysis, and visualization can reinvigorate and reshape dance history. Manually curating data sets from Catherine Dunham's archives, the authors trace Dunham's company, travels, and repertory pieces between 1947 and 1960. Bench and Elswit adeptly put a data-rich history onto paper, inviting the reader into what could be a daunting and overwhelming quantity of information with refreshing clarity and straightforwardness. Their mixed methods approach disrupts discrete 20th century dance history taxonomies of the company, the tour, and the work, exhibiting instead the dynamic and complex relations between these components. As such, the article is not only formative within the field of dance studies, but further exemplifies how data-rich research methods can contribute to larger histories of the Black diaspora. This article offers an exciting methodological intervention that will have a significant impact on the intersection of dance history and digital humanities. In celebration of them, here is a moment of music. Hooray. Kate and Harmony, would you like to say something?
Thank you so much. We are truly honored to have this work recognized by the Lippincott Award. We want to give a shout out to the Dunham's Data postdocs whose work is so important to this article. So Antonio Jimenez Mavillard, who did the beautiful visualizations, and Tia Monique Uzor, who worked with us on the data sets and whose own related article will be coming out in DRJ shortly.
We also want to thank the Arts and Humanities Research Council for funding Dunham's Data, the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama for funding the open access version of the essay in TDR, and the National Archive of Data on Arts and Culture. And they're actually taking care of the data sets, and I'm just popping a couple of links in the chat. So thanks to everybody, and also congratulations to all of our co-awardees today.
Hurrah. There was also an honorable mention for this prize, Alexander Schwan, Queering Jewish Dance, Barak Agadati, yes, forgive me. Let me read the citation for Alexander Schwan's award. Alexander Schwan's Queering Jewish Dance, Barak Agadati, is a kaleidoscopic and unflinching exploration of the Israeli artist Barak Agadati's career, showing how his dance works intervened into concepts of Jewish masculinity and sexuality within the socio-political context of British Mandate Palestine. The committee commends the depth of Schwan's archival research as well as Schwan's sensitive approach to wielding the dance historical pen, so to speak, to portrait Agadati in writing. Schwan's article contributes substantially to queer dance history while simultaneously shedding light on the political importance of concert dance to the historical ideologies of Zionism in British Mandate Palestine. Schwan approaches the task of writing about Agadati's life and career by embracing its full complexity, beginning with the difficulty of naming Agadati as a queer artist when he never came out in his lifetime, and ending with an argument that Agadati's complex approach to dance pushes against essentializing concepts of Jewish embodiment. Schwan's writing animates Agarati's life and work on the page. And in light of recent events, Dr. Schwan has asked for a moment of silence, after which I'd like to invite him to say a few words.
Thank you so much. I would like to extend my gratitude to all institutions that have supported me in the research of this article. This includes the Israeli Dance Library and the Yehuda Gabay Theatre Archive in Beit Ariela, Tel Aviv, the Israeli Center for the Documentation of the Performing Arts, Tel Aviv University, the Israel Gore Theatre Archive, Hebrew University, Houghton Library, Harvard University, and the Library of Congress. And my special thanks go to Betty Cohen-Kowalski, Ninochka Ben-Nachum, Dotam Brom, Judith Breng-Ingber, Ofri Elami, Victoria Kolokowski, Tom Levy, Leora Malka-Yelin. A very special thanks to Lynn Garafola and Mark Franco for giving me the opportunity to present early versions of my article as part of their colloquia at Columbia University at Temple University. With my article being about the first Israeli dance artist, I cannot help but point out to the horrific events that took place in Israel on Saturday, the 7th of October. Hamas terrorists unleashed unspeakable violence on innocent people and dancers, women, men, children, and the elderly. They butchered, raped, beheaded, and rejoiced while doing so. As I write this, at least 199 hostages remain in their grasp. The 7th of October stands as the deadliest day for Jews since the Holocaust, a pogrom orchestrated by a terrorist organization with a clear and malevolent intent, the destruction of Israel and the killing of Jews. With the article being about queering Jewish dance, I'm appalled by the lack of empathy and support from queer theorists who either remain silent or even read the pogrom as an act of resistance or a fight for freedom. Oh, how wrong you are. I'm heartbroken for the innocent Palestinian and Israeli families who are now suffering from violence and palpable dread for what is to come. In this dark moment, I pray for a resolution that enables all people impacted by this tragic conflict and war, Israelis, Palestinians, and people around the globe, to live in peace and safety. I pray, Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol ha'olam. Amen.
I'd like to ask us all to take just another moment of silence to pause and absorb these words. Congratulations again to Dr. Schwan, and thank you for helping us to reflect on the present moment. I'd like to move on now to celebrate the Oscar G. Brockett Book Prize for Dance Research, which is awarded each year to the best book in dance whose primary method of approach includes historical inquiry, published during the previous 3 calendar years. The awardee this year is Elizabeth Schwall for Dancing with the Revolution, Power, Politics, and Privilege in Cuba. The citation for this award reads, quote, "Dancing with the Revolution skillfully traces modern Cuban history and politics through dance, uncovering forms of dance nationalism that went with and against the state before and after the revolution. Schwall probes the racial politics of ballet, modern and folkloric dance to theorize whiteness and cultural blackness beyond the US. Her book decolonizes institutional history by foregrounding the dancer's agency, thereby showing dance as a massive pedagogical tool and contested terrain from which to reimagine a modern sense of Cubanidad. Schwall demonstrates how concert dance became a political arena where revolutionary politics were embodied, spiritual and sexual dissidents were experienced, and racialized utopias were choreographed." I'd like to share a brief quote from Schwall's book. Quote, "Professional dancers did not march in lockstep behind several Cuban governments before and after the 1959 revolution. Instead, Cuban performers literally and metaphorically danced with the state, moving in and out of sync, turning toward and away, making room, and stepping on toes. Their maneuvers led to moments of exhilarating success and excruciating pain, end quote. And in celebration of Elizabeth Schwall, we have another moment of music and movement.
Jolt from my electro. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash.
And now a few words from Elizabeth, please.
Thank you so much, Seth. This is probably the only time in my life I'll win an Oscar, so I am deeply, deeply grateful. I was so honored by this recognition. Working on Cuban history can be very difficult. You kind of annoy and upset everybody by the work, so I was very humbled by this, and also I'm a little bit of a misfit. But I really have to hand it to Dance Studies Association and dance scholars in general for continuing to allow me to be part of these really important conversations, which I find the richest and most insightful. So I just want to thank very quickly all the Cuban dancers, past and present, who entrusted me with their stories, and all the amazing archivists who allowed me to come back again and again and just disrupt their day-to-day with my inquiries. I'm very grateful to the Dance Studies Association, the awards committee, for all that time and effort and for considering my work. I also really appreciate the awards ceremony folks, Seth and everyone else, Lizzie Leopold and the previous group of people. It means a lot. As I said, this is probably a once in a lifetime thing. So it meant a lot to have this opportunity to convene. And finally, if my my family's not watching, but I'd like to thank my husband, who lived with this for the whole time that we've known each other, Danilo, and my son Marco, and my parents, who just supported my strange curiosities and obsessions. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone, and congrats to everyone for their your amazing work and a recognition as well.
Wonderful, thank you. We also have an honorable mention this year for the Oscar Brockett, and that's Layla Zami, Contemporary Performemory, Dancing Through Space-Time, Historical Trauma, and Diaspora in the 21st Century. The citation for this award reads, quote, "Contemporary performemory is a rigorously crafted exploration of dance as an epistemological practice of cultural memory in relation to historical trauma. Organized around 7 contemporary dance pieces, it places the body at the center of archival inquiry, less as an object to be studied than an active subject that remembers, imagines, reclaims, and sometimes resignifies injurious pasts. Contemporary performemory is a model of creative disciplinary innovation, demonstrating how dancing itself is at once fully contemporary and fully historical, a methodology that helps us to work through and with the past." And here's a brief excerpt from that book. Quote, "Embarking on diasporic journeys, I traveled with choreographers who dig, sink into, jump toward, and reach out to memory. Dancers gracing the stage with movements infused by power, versatility, subtlety, and creativity. Cores inflating and shrinking. Hands floating, joining, shaking, caressing. Humans gathering and parting. Hopefully, the dances of performemory will help humanity to stop shipwrecking against the loads of its painful past and to start levitating through the galaxies of its infinite cultural legacy." And in celebration of Layla, here is a moment of music. Hooray. And Layla, would you please say a few words?
Yes, thank you so much. I see that this Caribbean music from my mom's native island from Martinique got you all going. I danced a lot to it as a kid, and I looked up the lyrics. Actually, Scié Bois, the title, means an uprooted tree, and the message of that song is that people should work together and be in solidarity and cooperate with each other, especially in difficult times. So I think it's no coincidence that that song came to me for this celebration, which is, really with mixed feeling, very grateful to have this award, very concerned about the state of the world right now and realizing this book is more relevant than ever. So I'm really grateful to all the dancers and choreographers who made this work possible, starting with Oksana Chi, and also listing the 6 others: Andre Zachary, which some of you will know in the USA, Wan Chao Chang, Christiane Emmanuel, Chantal Loyal, Soufit Simon, and Farah Saleh. They are based in the United States, the Caribbean, France, Germany, also originally from Nigeria, Israel, and Palestine. I would like to thank them all first and foremost. Merci, shukran, toda rabba. I would also like to thank the ALS Foundation and the Stiftung Zeitlernen that supported this work, as well as 3 professors, Marianne Hirsch, Nadine George-Grave, and Lan Hornscheid. I think that the quote that I shared is reflecting my faith in dance, and I just wish that we may all keep moving physically, intellectually, and spiritually. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final award of the day is the Dance in the Public Sphere Award. This award recognizes renewed and new forms of public access and activism, widening the circulation of dance initiatives and resources. And the awardees this year are the members of the Dance Center of Iran, whose directors are with us. I'd like to read the citation from this and then invite each of them to say a brief word, after which we'll show a few short video about the center. So the citation reads, quote, "The committee is impressed with the way that Dance Center of Iran maintains, promotes, and continues the dance practices of the Iranian people, despite political suppression and governmental opposition. DCI participants organize annual festivals, lectures, and demonstrations, utilizing innovative technological methods, such as presenting dance demonstrations by rotating social media accounts within a 24-hour period. This, in effect, thwarts governmental shutdowns while ensuring the safety of participants. DCI provides a unique model in that is flexible, malleable, and utilizes a variety of platforms to reach multiple audiences, all the while igniting conversations through research, teaching, and performance. Most importantly, committee members note that DCI connects practitioners and academics across social and political boundaries despite suppressive conditions." I'd like the directors of the Dance Center of Iran to please say a few words of hello. Oh, but first, if we could please celebrate them in song once again. Here we are. Thank you. Please go ahead.
For years, our dancing bodies move in basements in the shadow of prohibition, yearning to realize our choreographic visions. How kind of the underground to accept us as we are, unconditionally, and to witness our dances, but also our interrogations and arrests for the crime of dancing. Neither borders nor walls can separate us. Shared dreams brought us together. Dance invited us to dance together, and the Dance Center of Iran became a global gathering place for our visions and dreams, bringing together different bodies, genders, genres, ideas, linguistic groups, and dreams. A diverse Iran without labels and prejudices. Hello, my name is Shahrzad Khorsandi. I'm a co-founder and the performance director at DCI.
Hi, my name is Harish Armand. I am one of the co-founders and the Dance Center of Iran and the research director.
Unmute Nima. Nima Jan muti.
صداتون نمیاد.
بچه ادامه بدیم.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go ahead and introduce Nima. Nima Abdoli, who unfortunately we couldn't hear, is also a co-founder of DCI. He offers technical support for our online programs and directs our social media and website. And my name is Masa Hojati. I'm one of the co-founders at DCI, the International Relations Liaison, and the Farsi to English translator.
Hi, I'm Hediye Ozma, and I'm also a co-founder at DCI, and I was active until last year as a director of workshops and video editor.
Hi, my name is Afshin Darakhshesh. For 2 years, I was the planning and programming director and also supervised the writing of the DCI policy.
Hello, my name is Jayron Barikani. I am the most recent member at DCI and the current director of workshops.
And on behalf of all the directors at DCI, we just want to thank DSA for the award, and we also thank Anuhe Bouriyai, our graphic artist, and also Fariba Pirahani, our Farsi to English to Farsi translator. And we're going to have some upcoming programs that are as follows.
We are currently planning Raqsnegar, a journal of artistic research around dance in Iran, as well as periodic roundtables, seminars, and lectures.
We're also preparing our third Chele Raqsan, a winter solstice celebration with presentations across various genres of dance in Iran and the diaspora, to be aired on December 16th and 17th. We invite you to join us.
We still can't hear Nima. Nima John, you're muted still. Nima was going to let us know that we will be updating and relaunching our website this year, as well as designing a new website for the DCI journal Raqsnegar.
We will be offering monthly workshops across various genres and subjects.
And we continue to strive for opportunities of participating in international festivals and conferences.
Before we leave, we'd like to share with you a short video showcasing excerpts of dance presentations of DCI's first major festival, Raqsware.
And I think, Seth, you have the link for this. If not, let me know.
Yes, let me share with you a short video introduction to the Dance Center of Iran.
Yo,
incredible visual introduction. Masa or anybody else, would you like to say some final words?
Well, we really practice to keep down to 5-minute max. So we don't have any more prepared words. But I would like to say a longer, deeper, heartfelt thanks to DSA that from the beginning, from our first steps of becoming members, wanting to put a working group together, participating in the first conference and symposia, and more, activity as time went on. We've always felt welcome, and it's wonderful to have had DSA's big heart, open mind, open arms, and a place where we can all grow. If anybody else wants to add a few words. And I also wanted to say, unfortunately, Nemo, who we couldn't hear today, he's, I don't know how to give enough thanks. He does much of the making these collages that you saw, and giving all the technical support to all our programs, and so many tasks to make all our festivals run smoothly and happen. And usually when we have festivals, since it's daytime in the US, nighttime in the Iran, often he does not sleep for several nights while he's making all this happen. So although you didn't hear his voice, he's a very, very appreciated member of our community as well.
Have I forgotten any awards? Okay. Wanted to make sure. Again, massive congratulations to everybody. The breadth and vitality of the scholarship and the practice that each of you has demonstrated really speaks to the momentum that this field has and the increasingly valuable contributions it's making, not only to the study and practice of dance, but to a range of other fields. It's just a stunning set of people that we've gathered to celebrate today. What a wonderful thing to have shared this with all of you. Again, thanks to all the awardees, to all the committee members who worked so hard to help bring their scholarship to honorific attention, to Angie Algren for her stewardship of that process, and especially to Lizzie Leopold for all that she does for this organization and this field. Massive congratulations to everyone. Please take your songs and go dance to them with other people. I hope you are surrounded by people who are as proud of you as all of us are today. Thank you. Everyone, take care.